neighbors, welcome back to another video of Cooking with Neighbors. It is I, Jerri-ellen, and today I'm making a double batch of bread and butter pickles. So let's get started. Because it's a double batch, I got my pickling cucumbers and I cut up 20 cups of, I trimmed the ends off of the pickling cucumbers and I sliced them to be like a ½ inch or so thick, okay? And there you go. They're all sliced up, 20 cups. And I have 8 medium onions that I sliced up as well. And they're sliced thinly, okay? I'm gonna add them to my pickles. Hopefully it all fits. I transferred them to my roaster because it fits easier. And I have a ½ cup of canning or pickling salt here. The onions are in there too. I just have to mix this through. Sprinkle, mix, sprinkle, mix. Sprinkle some more. I'm going to cover this and I'm going to leave it for 2-3 hours. Okay, neighbors, so it's been a few hours now, and I'm going to wash off my pickling cucumbers and onions that I had in my roaster here with the salt over it. So I'm going to rinse those really, really well so that they don't taste salty. And while I'm doing that, I have my jars sterilizing. So you want to put your rack in so that the jars aren't touching the bottom of your pot. Put your jars in, but make sure they're not hitting each other. You're going to submerge them in boiling water for 10 minutes, okay? I put a bit of vinegar in the water just to help prevent any of like this white film building up on your jars, especially if you have hard water. I find that when I didn't do that in the past, then I get this sort of like white film on my jars. I'm going to use that boiling water. I'm going to put it over my bands and lids so that I can sterilize that. Sterilize all the equipment that you're using so that, you know, everything is clean, clean, clean. So anyhow, I'm going to rinse these off. And use cold water, cool water to rinse. And this is going to take several rinses. I'm going to drain them, drain them, rinse them several times, like I said, because you don't want this to be salty. Okay, they have been rinsed really well, and they're sitting in my colander there, dripping off any excess water. And now we're going to get the pickling sauce going for them. Okay, remember, I'm making a double batch here. I'm going to put 6 cups of white vinegar, pickling vinegar. 1, 5, 6. I'm going to put 4 cups of granulated sugar. 4 tablespoons of mustard seed. However, sometimes, and I thought I had all kinds of it, sometimes that's hard to find, so you could just put the equal amount with mustard powder, okay? So I'm going to use 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 teaspoons of ground turmeric. 1, 2. 2 teaspoons of 1, 2. Okay, and I'm going to remember to put this in each jar. I'll show you what that is. Okay, I'm going to whisk this. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to bring this to a boil so that I can dissolve the sugar and everything. Okay, now that the sugar is all dissolved, I'm going to add our pickles and onions. Okay, now I'm going to submerge these in our pickling liquid here and bring this back up to a boil because you want to heat your pickles and onions through because you want everything to be nice and hot when you add it to your hot jars. I have my lids in this from the boiling water sitting in it, sterilizing. Okay. Okay. Get my jars out. They're all sterilized now. Okay, now we're ready to start filling our jars. I want to make sure I don't get too much onion and not enough pickle in some. We're best, won't we? Filling up our jars now. Get a plastic sterilized utensil to get out any air pockets. I'll show you. What I mean by take out the air pockets is I run this down the side, and then any bubbles and air will come to the up, and then this is very hot to hold, and then you're going to have to top up your liquid, because you want to leave only a 1/2 inch or a centimeter of space for your canning process. Need a bit more liquid, add her in there. And now I'm going to probably wipe the rims twice, but I dipped my paper towel into the sterilizing water so I can wipe off all around the lip and the rims, all of that, because we don't want any sugars or any liquids that are from that canning liquid hindering our sealing process. So that's why they have to be clean, so they can seal properly. I'm probably going to wipe them again, yes. What I want to do is add 1/8 of a teaspoon of pickling crisp into each jar. That's all you need. And that will distribute through anyway when it's in the canning process too. It's going to be bubbling in there. It's tempting to put more pickling crisp in, but you really don't need to. Okay, now I'm going to wipe the rims one more time, because I want to be very certain that they're clean. I'm going to get a lid. Make sure it's just one, Jerry, because sometimes I pick up two. And I'm going to center it onto my jar. And then I'm going to get a band. And just with the tips of my fingers, I tighten this. You don't want it too tight. You want to finger tight. So that it is closed. It is a little tight, but not too tight, because you want in the water bath for the air to be able to escape so that they can be vacuum sealed. Okay, so I'm going to continue putting the covers on these. Okay, all my lids are on, and I'm going to put them in the water bath. You don't want your jars touching, and you want the water to come a little bit over after you have them in, you want the water to be a little bit over the top of your jars, like you want them submerged a little bit in the water. I'm going to put the cover on. I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes, and then I'll take the lid off. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, and now I'm going to remove the lid and continue processing for another 5 minutes. I'm going to take these out, and then I'll show you what they look like. Not sure if you can see very well. Now, don't tighten the lids until they're all sealed, and you'll tell that they're sealed. They'll pop if you're around to hear it, like a tree falls in the forest. But anywho, the top will be smooth and it won't have that little dimple in the middle there. It will be nice and smooth when it seals, and then you can let them cool down, and tighten the lids then. So, yes, indeedly doodly. There we have it. And we'll show you them when the time comes that we're having some. Okay? Anyway, peace, love, God bless. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps me out. Okay? Take care, everyone. Bye.